Hey everybody, Motumbo here. Welcome back to the channel, and today we are playing some more Historic here on Magic Arena, and it is Decktember. We are still running strong, and we are still playing all of the decks that you guys are submitting, and again, still having a lot of fun with this. So again, a huge shout out to each and every one of you, but today, specifically, a huge shout out to one particular person, and that is the person who decided to submit this deck. And so let's hop right into it, and we are playing Chandra Waifu. So this deck was submitted to us by none other than Nexus0911. So again, huge shout out to Nexus for submitting this deck. This deck looks like a lot of fun. It does a lot of things that I like doing in Historic. And yeah, let's just hop into it. So this is we'll call it a Chandra Tribal deck. There are quite a few Chandras in this deck, and we're just going to focus on playing as many planeswalkers as we can, mainly with the name of Chandra, and we are going to focus on playing them as quickly as possible, and we're going to have just a fun backup of playing a giant colorless planeswalker that everybody really hates to play against. So let's take a look at each one of these cards, and let's just kind of go through everything. So we do have 4 copies of Strike It Rich. Strike It Rich on turn 1 should potentially give us access to 3 mana, which is going to potentially get us our baby Chandra, Dress to Kill, into play on turn 2. So really powerful, but we're not going to hit on Chandra yet. We're just going to hit on the next bit of ramp, and that is going to be Mind Stone. Again, in my opinion, one of the best cards in Historic. It's a 2 mana artifact. It just taps for a colorless mana, but later on down the line, if you need it, you can just pay 1 colorless, sack it, and draw a card. So really, really powerful. And since we are playing Chandra Tribal, we are going to be playing Chandra's Triumph. So this deals 3 damage to a creature or a planeswalker an opponent controls. And if we have a Chandra planeswalker in play, we're actually going to be able to deal 5 damage instead. So really good. I mean, it's only 2 mana. And again, it's going to guarantee at least 3 damage. But if we do have a Chandra in play, which we have plenty of, we're going to be able to deal 5 damage to a creature or a planeswalker. So let's look at some more removal. We do have 4 copies of Anger of the Gods. We do want to make sure that we are able to kill these pesky creature decks that are trying to go wide and not get too big. So Anger of the Gods are in. The good thing about Anger of the Gods is it does remove creatures from the game. So it does exile creatures that are killed. And that can be very relevant in a lot of decks that are being played in Historic. All right, let's start hitting up on some Chandras here. So Chandra Dress to Kill, the newest Chandra to join the tribe. Chandra, for 3 mana, she has some really cool abilities. So first off, the +1, we get to add a red mana, so she's going to even help us ramp into more Chandras. She gets to deal 1 damage to up to 1 target player or planeswalker. So we can ping our opponent, or we can ping a planeswalker if they happen to have one in play. So could deal with some pesky like Narsets or something along those lines. But mainly we're probably just going to be pinging a lot of faces with this. She also has the ability to +1 to exile the top card of our library, and if it's red, we can cast it this turn. Pretty good. We don't get any kind of discount on it or anything, but that is card advantage. So we're going to be able to cycle through our deck, hopefully find some spells that we can cast. And at the same time, uptick Chandra to get to her ultimate. Her ultimate's pretty powerful, and it is -7. We get to exile the top 5 cards of our library. We can then cast any red spells from among them this turn. And then we get an emblem that says whenever you cast a red spell, the emblem deals X damage to any target where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this spell. So if Chandra is going to ultimate, pretty much if any Chandra ultimates, you're going to be winning the game because we're just going to be casting spells and just dealing a bunch of damage. So we do have 4 copies of Ironcrag Feat. This is in here just to ramp out our bigger planeswalkers because, 4 mana, we get 7 mana for that 4 in return, but we only get to cast 1 spell after that. But let's look at, we call medium Chandra Torch of Defiance, probably one of the most powerful planeswalkers ever to exist. I say that about all of the 4 loyalty ability planeswalkers because they are pretty ridiculous. So 4 mana for a 4 loyalty and 4 ability planeswalker. +1, exile the top card of your library. You can cast it, and if you don't, you get to deal 2 damage. For +1, you also get to add 2 red mana, so that's more ramp. -3, we get to deal 4 damage to a creature. And the ultimate ability For -7, we get an emblem that says whenever you cast a spell, we get to deal 5 damage to any target. So pretty powerful. We're all pretty familiar with Chandra Awakened Inferno, 6 mana, uncounterable planeswalker. We're going to be upticking Chandra for +2 to give our opponents emblem that's going to deal them a damage every turn. So hopefully we're just going to be putting a bunch of emblems on our opponent every turn. We're just going to uptick this +2, +2, +2, and they're just going to be exponentially taking more and more damage every turn. So that's the goal of this Chandra. It does have a -3 to deal damage to each non-elemental creature, and a -X to deal a one-shot to a creature or a planeswalker based on how much loyalty we remove. So she doesn't really have a great ultimate ability, but I mean, honestly, plussing is kind of an ultimate in itself. So just being able to put all of that damage on our opponent, again, turn over turn, really powerful. And then last but not least, we have 4 copies of Ugin, the Spirit Dragon. So again, being able to Ironcrag Feat into Ugin is super powerful. Everybody's pretty familiar with Ugin. We've all played Ugin. We've all scooped to Ugin. It's a colorless planeswalker. +2, deal 3 damage. -X, wipe stuff off the board that is 1 or more colors. And then -10 ultimate, which happens on the 3rd turn after it comes out, is gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, and then put 7 permanents from your hand on the battlefield. So really powerful. We're playing 24 lands, 1 Den of the Bugbear just in case we need to get aggro, and 4 interplanar beacons to gain life because we have so many planeswalkers. We have 16 planeswalkers, so potential to gain quite a bit of life. What is that? 16 times 4, 64 life potentially if we were to cast all of our planeswalkers with all 4 of these in play. That would never happen, but the potential is there. So again, a huge shout out to Nexus0911 for submitting this deck. Again, looks like a lot of fun. I like playing Big Red. No Blood Sun Lotus Field, but you know what? Decks are chosen at random, and this just happened to be today's deck, so I'm excited. We get to play Chandras. Let's see what happens. And again, if you enjoy the deck, the channel, the video, Decktember, anything, please like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links down below. Join the Discord. Anything you can do to help support the channel, those are all free options, and it just takes you a second of your time to do that. So please if you can. But with that being said, we're going to hop into the games and see how this deck performs. So see you guys soon. All right. We have been given the quest to cast all the Chandras. So cast Chandras, we will. All right, Nexus, this is your deck. Let's get it. We're going first. All right, we're gonna strike it rich. Don't know what we're doing on turn 2, but he has treasure. Ooh. We could just Big Chandra next turn. That might be the play. That honestly might be the play. Ironcrag Feat, Big Chandra, probably tick up. And then next turn, medium-sized Chandra. All right. Take 1. 19 more turns if we don't get another activation. They always have Murderous Rider 4, right? I guess we misplayed. We lost a point of life. That's some mana. Add mana, get more mana. It seems good. They play this to present a threat against Chandra. We can kill it. Exactly what they're doing. All right. Well, I mean, let's see what we get here.
Today's my lucky day.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast this. Then I'm going to play Strike at Rich just in case they decide to start making us sack permanents. This could easily be a deck that does that. Nope. You were just living the Planeswalker removal dream over there. I think we shall. I don't know why it tapped that way. Because it's so ridiculous. The auto tapper is hot garbage. Alright, we need another anger. You are not an anger. I mean, we're just going to give them back. Or they're just going to earn back all of the life that they've lost. 11 up to 15. Holy moly. So now we 100% need an Ugin here. I mean, this... yeah, doesn't matter. Alright, let's go. Don't be Ugin.
So you might as well. This is a fun idea.
I mean, this is kind of good. But now both of our Chandras die. Yeah, we're just getting outclassed by the weird zombie horse deck. I mean, yep, no, don't have enough mana. Oh my gosh, how sick would it be? One more mana. Oh, so. Got us, max power. You got us. We got Horst. Rested Sunmare power. Yeah. I guess playing Chandra there was not the best move, but hey. Didn't also did not expect to draw Ugin there, so alright, good game. Alright, well. Game 2. Let's hydrate. We definitely need to cool off after that beating that the horses just gave us. So this actually looks pretty promising. We get to turn 2 play this Chandra. Seems pretty good. And we're just gonna tick up.
Watch me heat up the dance floor.
I mean, they have to start dealing with this now.
Give a toast.
So, are they playing control or are they playing? They are not playing control.
I knew you needed my help. This'll be easy.
Yeah, I don't really mind that a whole lot because yeah, you're gonna Mizzix's Mastery right now, but we're just gonna kill it. Oh, you're not even going to Mastery. Interesting. Honestly, we're gonna deal 1. This gives us extra red mana.
Aw, you're looking a little singed. Oh, this is gonna hurt.
I mean, these both get to ultimate in 2 turns. So they're looking for Mizzix's Mastery, most likely. Yep, there it is. So that's gonna kill, or that's not gonna kill, but it's gonna deal damage to big Chandra, or medium-sized Chandra. I mean, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and draw here.
Now you've done it.
Okay. That's pretty good. So uptick to 3 for mana. -4. So we uptick for mana. This only deals to players or planeswalkers. We could just... Oh. Alright. We're getting mana.
Let's bring things up to a simmer. If you haven't heard of me, then get ready to meet my flames.
Don't have any mana left over, so... Alright. -4.
Utterly is the best way to destroy things.
I mean, 3 Chandras in play. Pretty powerful. I mean, this has to be Teferi, right? Because this just immediately gets... We're going to exile the top 5 cards of our library. We can cast red spells this turn. We get an emblem. Yeah. Get an emblem.
Just when I was having a good time.
Alright,
Get ready for the fire.
don't need those. So... I mean, this just actually turns these on.
Let's light it up.
I'm not really sure why they would, because those were 100% dead cards in our exile zone. %100 dead cards. The only option you have is to draw 2. Maybe they make us draw 2. Oh, here comes the salty rope. I need like a little salty rope, like character that dances around the screen, like, you know, just something like that. But who knows? I mean, we've got this game. We're just gonna kill them next turn. I mean, we have an emblem that deals damage. I wonder if it's us. Should we restart our client? This definitely seems like it could be on us, but it also seems like it could be on them because it's pretty salty. But I don't recommend doing this, but we're going to do it because I do feel like it is on them. So, real quickly, we're going to launch back in. And if we're in the main menu, it was on our end. And this, where are we? Oh, we're in a game. Let's see who's it on. Who's it on? Oh, I'm hearing things. I'm hearing things. Oh, it's definitely on. All right, they did some lightning helixing. Sure thing. And we are going to just add mana, right? You're not countering this.
If you haven't heard of me, then get ready to meet my flames. Let's get toasty.
Sure. I mean, they definitely did a good job. Yeah, I was about to say. I think the only thing they could have potentially done was overload Mizzix's mastery, but then even then, they just gained 6 and they die next turn. We cast all of our spells. So, all right, well, it was us. There was an issue there, and I would like to point out that I've been seeing a lot of glitches where you're playing an opponent and they cast something and then they just concede. So I do feel like we were on the receiving end of that, where they cast something and then the game just froze out. And then luckily we had the insight or the foresight on our end to actually quit out and come back in. So yeah, be wary if it kind of looks like that while you're playing, because Blizzard still hasn't fixed a ton of their bugs, because they're too focused on pushing out additional sets to squeeze money. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. So on to the next game. That was a sweet one. All right, game number 3, Nexus. I hope I am doing your deck well so far. 1-1. I don't think there was anything we could do in that game. Got outhorsed. What do we do here? It has potential if we draw one of our ramp spells. If we draw a Strike It Rich or a Mind Stone. You know, or just more 4-drops. Okay. Flash it back. All right, I guess this is really going to depend on what they do. I need a land here. We get to land Ugin. Oh, we have, oh, perfect. We have to go minus. We have to go -6. Sure. Did it. Did it. And it's pretty decent, right? I don't think there's a combination of cards that can just get them back in that quickly, especially without a follow-up. Maybe we just start. Actually, you know what? Get some more mana. Yeah, remember, I didn't say they were out of it. I just said it was going to be difficult for them to get back into it quickly.
This'll be easy.
Obviously, don't care about that.
Get out of my way. I'm burning up. Is it just me, or is it getting a little
So now they have to, I think they have to kill, yeah, medium Chandra. And then we just play another medium Chandra. Yep. They don't know we have another one, so that decision, it kind of sucks, like having to get another emblem, like knowing that another emblem's coming if you don't do it. Yeah, there we go. Well, that was game 3, and that was just planeswalker, 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 planeswalker. So pretty hard to beat that. So sweet. Let's talk about this deck and see what kind of improvements we do. All right, so let's talk about this deck. So we went 1 and 2. And it's really powerful, right? There's really great ramp in this deck, as we saw, being able to turn 1 strike it rich into a turn 2 Chandra. I mean, we're probably not going to be angering the gods on turn 2. Could Mind Stone, which sets us up into a potential 4-mana Chandra. There's really good ramp. Also doing those things allows us to potentially Ironcrag Feet on turn 4 into an Ugin, just depending on what combination of other Chandras we get prior to that. But I do feel like this deck is really powerful. I'm not really sure what it's lacking yet. This is going to take a little bit of time for me to go back and forth, because again, with a name, when everybody submits their Decktember deck list name, when it does say when it does come to the deck list, specifically like the last deck that we did with the Savai Giants deck, I really thought about taking that Mardu shell and bring it down to a mono red shell, and then even a Rakdos shell. And then I said, you know what, the name really sticks there. It really has to be something along the lines of Mardu, just because of the name. So with Chandra and the deck being called Chandra Waifu, we definitely need to keep it as a Chandra shell. So I do believe that these Chandras work really well together. Baby Chandra Dress to Kill here, being able to ramp us, deal 1 damage, exile cards, being able to potentially ultimate for a crazy emblem is pretty powerful. Obviously, 4-mana Chandra has always been powerful. She is one of the most busted planeswalkers ever. She is one of the ones with the 4-mana or the 4 loyalty abilities. And then Chandra, Awaken Inferno. She's not a great ultimate planeswalker when it comes to ultimating, but she has her +2 ability is ridiculous. Being able to just throw an emblem on somebody every turn. So I don't really know what I'm going to do with this. And honestly, like I have a couple of ideas in my head, but and again, not too sure what I'm going to do here. I do know there's a couple of cards that I'm thinking about incorporating from the new Alchemy set, but I'm not sure which one or even if any of them would fit in that well. So it's going to take me a little bit to work with this, as crazy as it sounds, because I do think there are quite a few changes that could be made. But I think if we make too many changes, we could really just break the stability of the deck. So yeah, again, with the power of editing, just give me a few seconds. I'll be right back with a new deck for you. All right, like I mentioned, with the power of editing, we are back, and we are now looking at Chandra Waifu version 2. So as you can see, we left this deck almost exactly the same. There's really only a few changes. I did take down 1 copy of Ugin. I did feel like since this is a Chandra deck, we don't necessarily need to keep all the Ugins in play, but then again, Ironcrag feeding into Ugin is still really powerful. I still wanted to keep that option in there. So one of the other notable changes that we made is going to be, we added 2 copies of Chandra Acolyte of Flame. So this is going to be interesting. What I'm really hoping to gain with this is not necessarily the middle ability, which most people use to create 2 1/1 red elemental tokens and just attack with them every turn, even though that may be good. I'm really looking to use the other 2 abilities. The top ability, which says put a loyalty counter on each red planeswalker, which is going to allow us to ultimate our other 2 Chandras hopefully quicker, or give us the opportunity to ultimate these planeswalkers and still leave them in play, which is usually huge, because you always want to typically ultimate a planeswalker as soon as you get to those counters. You know, and when you get to that magic number. But this might give us a turn where we actually saved up, you know, just enough, or we're short, and then we drop this and we just get to that magic number and we do it. Or, you know, maybe we just go one over and we are able to save these Chandras and leave them in play. Now, the card I did decide to throw in, and I kind of battled between a couple of cards, but I'm going to go with Brittle Blast, right? This had the Chandra removal spell in here prior in version 1, but we're going to look at this Brittle Blast card from Alchemy. 3 mana, instant. It says creatures and planeswalkers your opponent control gain, or perpetually gain. If this permanent would die, exile it instead. And then it deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. So for 1 extra mana, we have the guaranteed ability to do 5 damage, as opposed to having a conditional ability where we only get to do 3, and then 5 if we have Chandra in play. So why I decided to do this is for a couple of reasons. This, you know, is good. It's a 5 damage instant. It's going to be good against, you know, it's really good for spot removal. However, I really wanted to potentially pair this with Big Chandra in order to essentially combo to make an extra Anger of the Gods if we needed to. Because if we give all of our opponent's creatures, when they die, we exile them, what we do is we can potentially kill the big creature and deal 5 damage to it, and then maybe they just have a bunch of 3 toughness or smaller creatures in play, and then they all just get wiped and they get basically Angered of the Gods with Chandra's -3 ability. So that's what I'm kind of hoping to get out of this. Again, big removal, and then just the extra ability to remove creatures from the board forever. So yeah, that's what I am gonna try to do. But really, everything else stayed the same. The land count stayed the same. The ramping stayed the same. The number of Chandras in the deck stayed the same, other than the fact that we added 2. And I really think this deck's gonna be a lot of fun. Again, Chandra just seems pretty powerful, and again, this Chandra, I wasn't really that impressed with her when I first saw her and was really first introduced to the Chandra Dress to Kill from the new Crimson Vow set. But after I realized that, you know, she actually just ramps you, you know, if she was able to deal 1 damage to anything, not just players or planeswalker, if she could actually ping creatures, this card would just be the most insane planeswalker, I think. But again, I mean, the ability to ramp here, because, you know, you play this on turn 3, even with no ramp. Let's just say you power this on turn 3. On turn 4, you have access to 5 mana. And you maybe play a 5 mana Chandra, which we're not playing any of. But yeah, still pretty good. Her ultimate, just being able to cast a red spell and deal all the damage, pretty powerful. So yeah, pretty impressed with this baby Chandra Dress to Kill. So yeah, this is version 2. So let's hop in and let's see what happens with the new version. Hopefully we didn't butcher it too bad, because we didn't really make that many changes. So pretty excited to play this one. All right, let's get there. See you guys later. All right, well, Chandra Waifu version 2. Not a lot of changes, because again, I think it has a great, its backbone, like just a great core. So this is a great name. Oh, 2 bears, 1 cub. Oh my. That's an amazing name, my friend. And this is definitely a hand. This might be just turn 3 Chandra, turn 4 Chandra. Like, we could ramp this out. I guess it depends on what they're doing. Maybe it's just always correct. Yeah, I think it's always correct just to ramp this out, because she does make mana. So I guess we could also Anger of the Gods. All right, so we're taking damage every turn. But now we are also taking damage.
I won't stop fighting till the people are safe again. Let's bring things up to a simmer.
So you're dealing an extra 1, we're dealing an extra 1. Oh, that's fine. That's perfect. Now you're going after this every turn. Seems pretty good.
You want to dance? Then let's
Bomat Courier, okay. So anger becomes a 3 for 1. Alright, so let me read this again. This is just if I cast something without spending mana, right? Because we're definitely going to be spending mana. Right, Soul Scar. Chandra. I think we just strike it rich here, right? Chandra becomes... This just becomes a target. Plus we could just really want to save this to double back on the Anger of the Gods. Alright, you're doing it. Wow. Wow. And they turned off emotes. Still. -2. They just need a land to activate that den, right? Probably a burn spell. I think we have to race them, though. Part of me really just wants to make mana and cast the other Chandra there and just get in for 2. So I think it would have been better if we would have done that. Today's my lucky day. Because then we have 2 planeswalkers in play next turn. Okay. Okay, that was huge. Oh, beautiful. They scooped. They scooped. They knew we were going to get him. I mean, they could have... Yeah, I don't know what they could have drawn, right? Because we hit them for 5, 6, 7 minimum next turn. Wow. That was a great comeback. Burn is stupid. I mean, we're playing red also, but we're not doing what they're doing. Just pointing 1 and 2 mana spells at our opponent's head, so... Justification, right? All right, next game. All right, well, we got numero uno. Again, we didn't make any like huge changes to the deck. Made a few, but I'm still thinking about that play with the other Chandra. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. Deal 5 damage, something on turn 3 if we need to. Really never know what you're going to need to do in Historic. This is pretty good. This is going to let us ramp a little bit faster.
You know what's great at dispelling darkness? A blazing inferno.
I like our little quotes. Start casting spells. Really? We're about to have to play another one of these? Okay. I mean, if you had it there, that would have been the time to do it.
Give a toast? I'd love to.
Yeah, let's just make them have stuff.
When people start screaming, I know I'm on track.
I mean, next turn they can Mizzix's Mastery, but neither one of our planeswalkers dies. Guess that's just a popular deck again right now. All right, well, we definitely know what they're doing. So I can do this now, right? Do this now. This pings 1 to them though. This deals damage. They're definitely going to your Hulk here, 100%. Let's see what they do. If they want to respond to this, that's fine.
Ever see a volcano erupt in person? You're about to. No pressure.
I mean, we just have to focus on dealing as much damage as possible.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Yep, go ahead and do your thing. Oh, so they're gonna try to overload a Mizzix Mastery. That's pretty good. What? What? 8 mana. 8 mana, 3 Mizzix or 3 Magma Opuses in their graveyard, and they had nothing. I was so worried about them actually doing something there, because this is a pretty oppressive board against some decks. But if they would have had a Mizzix's Mastery and just overloaded right there, we probably lose. They have to so they have to focus all the damage, not all the damage, but a lot of the damage on Chandra. So what they would do is they would deal 8 damage to Chandra, and then probably 4 damage to medium Chandra. That way we can't utilize any of their minus abilities, obviously, because Big Chandra's dead. And then this one can't -3. So, and then they just have 12 power in play, right? So that's probably what they should have done. But again, obviously they didn't have it, so we'll take that. So, all right, on to the next game. Yeah, pretty crazy. I don't really like it when opponents just concede when they have all the mana in the world, but you know, they could have just had 4 land in their hand. So who knows? So this is going to be just an Ugin game for our last game, most likely. Well, slam Anger of the Gods. What if this was like a Omniscience game that we were playing and we just deal 3 damage to everything? All right, well. Turn 3 Ugin? Turn 3 Ugin seems pretty good. They're gonna concede here. What? I mean, I'd probably concede against the turn 3 Ugin. But who knows what kind of banishing lights they have. I mean, that's pretty quick. Champion? Sure. So if they don't have any other creatures in their graveyard, oh, they do have a Sarah's Emissary. That's pretty good. But I think so they're gonna reanimate their God Pharaoh's Gift, and then they're going to Sarah's Emissary. Like, oh no, they're not. Okay. I mean, we just ultimate this turn. Yeah, Snurf, I'm sorry, my friend. I'm sorry. But hey, we get a bonus game because that was such a quick game. So I'm going to give that to you guys. But remember, we just 3-0'd with this deck. Didn't really see any of the changes that we made to it, so it's kind of like we're playing the same deck. But we're going to head into the next game, bonus game. Let's go. All right. Bonus game, bonus game, bonus game. You hear the sweet effects? I paid someone to put that in there. Was not me at all, just saying bonus over and over again. But regardless, we get a fun final game here. And strike it rich. Maybe we draw Baby Chandra. Baby Chandra, let's go. Oh. Got very concerned for a second that we were about to get like swan songed or... Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Cling to dust. Still is kind of brutal. No lie, no lie. Pretty brutal. We're just gonna have to battle through all the counter spells here? Probably. Play it, I'll kill it. Alright, I won't kill that. Sure. You did it. Got us. Alright, draw land. You are a land. Would very much like for you to attempt to counterspell this. Start the clock.
No pressure.
I mean, they did not have a murderous rider. That's good news. That's really not going to work out that great for you.
Let's get toasty.
Drawing 2 cards. Really not sure where that's going to put you. Okay, to the bottom. The next turn, they get to turn this on.
All right, let's do this thing.
We're keeping this Brittle Blast for another potential cycled Shark Typhoon. It's like, I think cycling Shark Typhoon into an attack with the Hall of the Storm Giants is pretty brutal. And they're on a 5-turn clock now, so...
Getting a little warm in here.
Pretty good. Vraska's Contempt. I did not expect that. Still on a 5-turn clock. They try to race us. I mean, they tap out and things are, I guess, a little... They're slightly worse for them. Comes a shark. Not a shark, okay. Definitely need a mountain. I mean, they have to try to race this. I mean, I'm going to kill this. They already played a land. Perfect. We just needed a mountain to be able to get this Ugin into play. Right, them tapping out was huge. Gain some life. We bolt them down. They go to 3, and then they have a couple things they have to deal with, right? They've got 3 emblems they have to deal with. They have to gain life. They have to kill Ugin. All right, Vraska's Contempt comes down. Sure thing. They actually did... Okay, so they actually did answer a bunch of things. And unfortunately for them, we top deck like a champ, but they might have a counter here. Who knows? We're going to gain some life regardless. Okay. 19, they go to 2. They attack us to 7. And then... They don't have any creatures. We don't have any creatures, so I think we're good. Right, for the Cling to Dust. They're probably not playing any creatures. Because Cling to Dusting a creature would gain them 3 life. I guess they could kill their own Gear Hulk. I think that's what they're... Oh, no, yeah. I think they were looking to potentially having to do that, but that was a sweet last game. All right. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about these guys. All right, everybody, welcome back to the wrap up. And man, we had a lot of fun. We had some pretty interesting games. We almost timed out a game. There was just a lot that was happening, and we got to play so many planeswalkers. And again, we get to play all the Chandras, not all the Chandras, but all the Chandras that were in our deck. They all actually came into play at one point. They did amazing things. Ugin did what he normally does and went big, and then our opponents went home. So yeah, that, again, a lot of fun. Now, if you do look at the difference between this original deck that Nexus 0911 submitted, we did not make that many changes to it. So here's another quick look at our version. Now, again, after playing the new cards from Alchemy, sorry, I'm still getting used to the name. I wasn't really super overhyped, they didn't really perform like I wanted to. So the burn spell that we put in, unfortunately, even though we were hoping that we were going to be able to combo it with Big Chandra, I guess you're never really wanting to do that. You're just wanting to wipe the board. So I think we could have just left that as Chandra's Triumphs. Now, the tiny Chandras didn't really come into play either. There was a game where we could have slammed that into play instead of dealing 2 damage. And we didn't do that, but again, our opponent scooped anyway. So I don't really think it really mattered, but the correct play would have been play the other Chandra also, so we could just uptick all of our planeswalkers. So that would have been the correct play. But other than that, though, the deck is a lot of fun. You know, you definitely don't need Ugins to win, but of course, you know, you're going to win, I think, more if you have Ugins in your deck. So back to the original deck here. Again, this is what Nexus submitted, and a huge thank you for submitting this deck. It was a lot of fun. Again, I'm very impressed with the new Chandra being able to ping our opponent's face get that ramp. I really think that ramp is what's super important. It makes this Chandra really a mythic. I do think for it to be a mythic, it should deal a damage wherever we want. So I think maybe this is more of a rare slot, but again, I'm not a card designer, so don't listen to me. I could be very off key with that. So, but yeah, again, Chandra's Triumph probably is just as good as the other card. And maybe we need more removal in the deck. So maybe, honestly, maybe Ugin's come out, or maybe we drop Ironcrag Feats to 3, Ugin's to 3, and then we have 2 removal spells. So, but yeah, other than that, though, this deck is super fun. I recommend it. However, this deck is going to be super expensive. This deck has all the mythics. All the planeswalkers are mythics. So that is 16 mythics right there. And then we have 4 rares, and yeah, I guess it's not too expensive after the fact that you get past the 16 mythic part. But yeah, build at your own risk, I always say. But again, if you want to have fun and you have Chandras, play them. Maybe tell me if I should have included some of the other Chandras, like some of the 5-mana Chandras, maybe the other more expensive Chandras as well. Who knows? Let me know what you think about it. And again, a huge shout out to Nexus0911 for submitting Chandra Waifu. And again, if you enjoy the deck, the channel, and the video, please like, comment, subscribe, check out all the cool links down below, join the Discord, anything you can do to help the channel. I just thank you all in advance. Again, Decktember is so much fun. I'm so glad that everybody's a part of it and that everybody's enjoying it. So with that being said, everybody please stay safe, stay awesome. Merry Decktember. We'll see you next time.